All right, so continuing the video that I was just doing, and we here in Isaiah the 34th chapter, and we're proving that when Yahweh shall come back, the nations are going to be in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Their armies are going to be in the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, and there they will receive their judgment by thermonuclear missiles, Yahweh and the angels on the chariots shooting down laser beams. All right, this is the end of any rulership for the nations, any and all. All right, and we're going to prove that. So let's continue to read in Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 3. Their slain also should be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved. All the militaries, all right, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. All right, so that's when the nuclear missiles hit ground zero. All right, the smoke go up and it folds into itself. That's rolled together as a scroll, and their host shall fall down. All right, so these different military men, they're going to fall down. All right, as a leaf fall from off the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. All right, that's the nuclear missiles. All right, covering the skies. And it shall come down upon Idumea. The main target is the Edomites. All right, it's gonna get you the American Edomites. It's gonna get you Russian Edomites. It's gonna get you so-called Israeli Edomites. All right, the main target is here in America. It says, and upon the people of my curse to judgment, because Esau's judgment was to be eradicated off the face of the earth. The sword of Yahweh is filled with blood, is made fat with fatness, and with the bloods of the lamb and goats, and with the fat of kidneys and rams. And Yahweh has sacrificed in Basra, America, in a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, America. Idumea is the Greek way of saying East Edom. Is the Greek way of saying Edom. The unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and in their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. And that's talking the bulls and the blood and the bullocks is talking about the people. All right, the people are going to be a sacrifice here in America. All right, and the smoke go up, it's going to please the Lord. All right, for in the day of Yahweh's vengeance, for this is the day of Yahweh's vengeance, in the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. All right, so this judgment is coming. One main reason is because you put the children of Israel in captivity. The streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone. The land thereof shall become burning pitch. All right, so America is going to be on fire for a long time. All right, filled with brimstone, that's sulfur. All right, so let's go from there. Let's go to Isaiah 63 and verse 1, and it reads, who is this that cometh from Edom? All right, with dyed garments from Basra. That's America again. The main target of Yahweh Shai and the angels' destruction is the Edomites, so-called white people. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. All right, so Yahweh Shai is going to come traveling, okay, on the so-called UFOs. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save, wherefore art thou arrayed in thy apparel and thy garment like him that treaded in wine fat? Because Yahweh shall come and do a lot of damage, bring destruction, right? So that's symbolic, all right? Garments like red in thy apparel, like him that treaded in wine fat, is symbolic of Yahweh shall doing a lot of damage to these nations and their militaries when he come back. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment, and I will stain all my raiment. So when Yahweh shall come back, this is what's going to happen. All right? To the nations. All right? For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold me. All right? Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. All right. So Yahweh Shah motivation is going to be this anger he has for the other nations, especially Esau, Edom. I will tread down the people in my anger and make them drunk in my fury. I will bring down their strength to the earth. All right. So all the nations that have any type of rulership, Esau is in rulership ultimately, so-called white man, using Babylon the Great America, all right, as the country or kingdom to push out his wickedness and influence the whole earth, right? So let's go from there. Let's go to Revelation chapter 19 and verse 11. And it reads, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. This is a chariot. He that sat upon it was called Faithful and True. This is Yahweh Shah. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. Right? So Yahweh Shah riding on the chariot again, traveling in the greatness of his strength. He's coming to judge and make war. When he come back, right? Soon as he comes back, it says his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. All right. So Yahweh Shah had red eyes, pissed, okay, angry. And his head had many crowns. All right. Meaning represents that Yahweh Shah is going to dethrone all these different nations. Right. This as soon as he come back. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself, and that's his position. That's his authority, being second in command in the whole universe. All right. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. Again, this same prophecy in Isaiah the 63rd chapter. This is symbolic. And his name is called the Word of the Most High. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. So this is the angels with Yahweh Shah, clothed in fine linen, white and clean, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword. That's the laser beams from the chariot's mouth. That with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. He treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. All right. It says, and I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and them that sit on them. And it says, and of them that sit on them, in the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. So there's going to be a lot of death over there in the valley of Jehoshaphat for the birds to have a great feast. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken, as NATO and the EU, and America is a part of that, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that received the mark of the beast, which is the MOTB, which is the RFID seal, and them that worship his image, followed after the system, believed in so-called white man way, though these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone, which represents this thermonuclear destruction is going to cast down the whole system of Edomite supremacy. All right. On earth, period. This is when Yahweh Shah comes back. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that had moved all the waves thereof. Right? It came a wind from the sea that moved all the waves thereof. So Ezra seen a vision. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. We just read that. All right. In Revelation, the 19th chapter. Okay. Revelation, the 19th chapter, when it says, Let's see. Right. So when it says Revelation 19 and 19, it says gather together to make war against him. So when Yahweh shall come back, as soon as he come back, they're going to make war against Yahweh Shai. That's the him that sat on the horse, that's the chariot, and against his armies. So the armies of the earth are going to turn from fighting each other to fight Yahweh Shai and the angels, right? So then let's go back. It says, and the beast was taken. That means they got destroyed. All right. That's verse 20 in Revelation 19. Right. So let's continue in 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. This is the war. This is the war in heaven. Let's get that real quick. This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7. And there was war in heaven, right? So it's going to be war in the sky when Yahweh shall come back. It says, Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. We just read that in Revelation 19 chapter. So who is the dragon? NATO and the EU and America is part of that union. All right. And the dragon fought his angels. That's talking about their military, their fighter jets. All right. Their military. Okay. They're going to fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels when they come back. Of course, there's going to be a landslide. It says, and it prevailed not. Okay. So these nations, they're going to be taken. Prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. Had no more rulership. All right. So Hassad is saying the American Edomite going to get taken out of power, but then Russia is going to come up. He's breaking down Micah wrong, the 4th chapter, Ezekiel 38 chapter wrong, because all of this is happening simultaneously, the deliverance and the destruction. All right. He broke down Joel the 3rd chapter wrong. All right. And it says, this is where he's confused at. All right. And it says, and the great dragon was cast out. That old serpent called the devil and Satan was deceived the whole world. This is Esau, the so-called white man. He was cast out of the earth, out of rulership, and his angels were cast out with him, his military. Right. And I heard a loud voice saying, in heaven now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power, in the power of his anointed, Yahweh Shai. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. So when Esau go down, it ain't no more fighting, bro. This is the war to end all wars. The war is not going to happen after we go back to the land, right? It's going to happen before we go to the land. Let's continue in 2nd Ezra. All right, 13. It says in verse 3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. All right. So all the things that was seen under him trembled. Who is that? The military men and all the people of the earth. Okay. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, that's the laser beams, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven. That's the Lord that gathered all the nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat to subdue the man that came out of the sea, to make war with Yahweh Shai and the angels. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. That's the so-called chariot. He flew upon it. That's traveling in the greatness of his strength. But I would have seen a region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not, because it wasn't a mountain. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight. All right? So these militaries are going to be afraid, but the Lord going to put in them the spirit to fight. All right? the last hurrah, the last great battle. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, these are the laser beams, and a great tempest. All right. And fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. So it's going to be a war, and the angels in Yahushua going to be shooting out laser beams, right? It says, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Russia going to be there, bro. Russia ain't coming up against shit. They just got destroyed. Right? Revelation 27:8 says Russia gonna be there. Isaiah 13th chapter said Russia gonna be there. Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51 say Russia gonna be there. Ezekiel 38th chapter say Russia gonna be there. And they're gonna be there to get that dust and that smell of smoke. And after saw I the same man come down from the mountain and call upon him another peaceable multitude. You see that? Yahushua destroying, okay, the nations and calling to him the elect out of the northern and the southern kingdom. All right? And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and others some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through a great fear, and I await and saw. So as Hassan said, he got it right. All right, we're going to the wilderness, and you're gonna have Israelites there that's gonna be chosen for salvation or chosen for destruction. It says, and that was it right there. Let me go here to Revelation 11, and let me get a good starting point. It's Revelation 11, and I'll start at 12. It says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. That's the elect of the nation of Israel being delivered into the chariots. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. That's the chariots. And their enemies beheld them. The other nations beheld us, right? Even our own people gonna see us. Well, I say us because I hope I'm part of the elect that get delivered. In the same hour, there was a great earthquake. So that let us know the destruction and the deliverance is going to happen simultaneously. It's not going to be, because the great earthquake is what? The thermonuclear missiles hitting ground zero here in America, Israel, different parts of the earth. All right. Russia going to get hit too. They one of the main targets, right? And the earth is going to shake. And as Hassan said, as the scriptures say, Revelation 15 chapter, we going up into the chariots to look down on the destruction of America. All right. So it's happening simultaneously. It's not a war after. It's not all nations gathered to come up against us after we in the land. All right. That's a huge failure. And it says, the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. That's America. And in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. So in this earthquake, which is going to rock the whole world, it's going to be a complete number of people destroyed. So you telling me this great earthquake that's going to destroy a lot of people, you're going to have some continuity of government that gather up some people and start, well, what are they ruling? Everything is in shambles. All right? How do they rule? What, they're going to have some, Russia's going to be messed up. It ain't nothing to rule. All right? It ain't going to be nothing to rule, man. It says, In the same hour, there was a great earthquake. The same hour, the elect delivered, and then the same hour, thermonuclear missiles hit ground zero. That's why the scripture said in 1 Corinthians 15th chapter, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. It's going to happen so quick, the elect going to be delivered because these missiles is coming. It says, in the 10th part of the city fell, America, and the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. The remnant were frightened. That's the elect of the nation of Israel, and gave glory to the Most High of heaven. So the nuclear destruction and the deliverance happens at the same time, right? The second woe was past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. All right, so what was just explained is World War III. That's why I said the third woe coming quickly, because that's what was just explained. All right, the third major war on the planet Earth. Let's get this, and this will be the last one. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, and let's see, in verse 23. But every man in his own order, Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, the first fruits, that's the elect. Afterward, they that are Hamashiachs at his coming. All right. Then come at the end, right? So the deliverance is going to be given to the elect. Then come at the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to the Most High, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule, all authority, all power. That's when he come back and lay these countries desolate with the nuclear missiles at the same time. All right, it ain't gonna be no rule. It ain't gonna be no authority. All right. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakach B'dash, Brakatham.